Law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash.
Yeah.
Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port here on a Wednesday. The Barnes and Tony Show once again. Big Ranger W last night, and we are now 2 days away from first pitch at Dodger Stadium.
Wow, dude.
Yankees-Dodgers, Game 1 of the 2024 World Series. It's 180 degrees in here. How you doing, Tony?
Good, dude. Yes, it's definitely hot in here. The lights are on. The windows are open, but there's no AC, Brian. So nonetheless, do we power through? It's the morning. Grateful for that because obviously it gets hotter through the day, the afternoon, whatnot. But obviously right now, dude, I feel like I'm on the ice with the New York Rangers, cooling off the W, happy, your Lakers, excited. Michael Buckner's in the house, dude. So a lot to go over, honestly, dude.
Yeah, and it's a shame. Obviously, the West Coast time, you understand it. But, I think the game maybe just tipped off, and then I went to bed. It's like I can't stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching the Lakers. Are you kidding?
I mean, it's just not worth it, dude.
No.
It's just not worth it, dude. I can't.
But it was nice for the first time this year. Obviously, the big thing has been, whether it's football or the Yankees, haven't been able to watch a full Rangers game and actually pay attention. And last night presented that opportunity.
Picked a great night.
What a win for the Rangers, and we'll get to that. But let's start with some comments.
Yes, as typically do, we have a bunch off the top here. Josh B, typically first is first. And again, what up, fam? Celtics shot lights out yesterday. Oof. No doubt about that. Josh B, Mike was just, oh my God.
He was tight?
Yeah, he was watching the game while we were doing Binge Buddies. And he was just like, they're down by 15. They're down by 20. Down by 22. They're trash.
Yeah, it was shit from the start. And I must have made it extra tough for him because he did make the call that Derek White, not the right guy. And I think he had 28 points, 6 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying, Michael, I might know a thing or two.
Speaking of Michael, Buckta in the house says, hey, Barnes, how about those boys in purple and gold last night on the West Coast, dude?
And I will add here, Michael, you did doubt him yesterday, so don't think I forgot about that, but I will give you the benefit of the doubt. But, I told you, before the season starts, to get all negative, 10-point loss, all this stuff, just remember who's on that team.
Love that, dude. He also says, if I see a lot more of what I watched last night, I think we could get to 55 or so wins.
What a difference 24 hours makes, Michael.
Right? And he likes JJ Redick as well, dude, which I guess is all right.
I mean, it's one of those things, Tony. I think you could agree because I get how JJ Redick could come off. Not everyone would like him, but I think we could both agree that he's played a lot of basketball. He's been on a lot of different teams. So he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, it's his first time, but it's he does have that going for him. So just because of that, it could end up working out a lot better maybe than people anticipated.
Yeah, I like that, dude. And, he is buddy with LeBron, too. So I guess that's cool. Ernie in the house, dude, says, logged in from the laptop while working. Let's go.
Let's go, Ernie. Let's go.
And then Buck to double down here. Reddick's energy that he has, loves that way more than Darvin Ham, obviously.
Energy, very important. So, Ham definitely wasn't as jacked, Michael.
Obviously not. Speaking of jacked, Ernie back in here. Lakers win. Packers in the top 5. Yanks in the World Series. What a week, dude. And then Tommy Donovan says, yo, Rangers putting up a tutty on the Habs. LFGR. You know the deal.
What a game, Tommy. What a game. And I know I haven't checked my Twitter messages, but he was telling me, I guess, I don't know if it's where he is in Connecticut, which still, I guess, doesn't make sense. But he was trying to say that the game was blocked out.
I mean, it was blocked out here. I had to watch the Canadian broadcast on ESPN Plus.
Oh, but yeah, you could never watch the Rangers on ESPN Plus. It's always on MSG.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, but I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but I thought he was just talking about regular MSG. It's like either you have it or you don't, but the game's always going to be on.
Well, I also wonder, too, because he's a little bit further up north.
Is Danbury or Waterbury, right? Or Danbury?
Oh, my God. Is it Waterbury?
I
thought it was Danbury.
I think it's Danbury.
I think it's Danbury, too.
It is Danbury.
But also, it's like, I mean, I mean, I don't know how Connecticut works at that point. Do you have, is your local channel nested instead of MSG?
Yeah, that could be. But then he probably has ESPN Plus, but then maybe it was blocked after that, which is kind of.
Yeah, because you get MSG, ESPN Plus. Because you're and then Ernie says, Michael, let's go Lake Show, obviously towards Buckta.
What are the chances Ernie had some type of prop bet on the Lakers for that game? Definitely.
Something probably AD over under the points or something. Hammered it, dude. First game, get him while he's healthy. Michael Buckta says, Barnes, question for you. Do you think we can beat the Suns on Friday night?
I think the Lakers can beat anybody because, I mean, as we saw in the Olympics and as we saw last night, LeBron's still one of the best players in the league. And then you throw AD in there, everything going and you're hitting threes and you're playing D. I think they could beat anybody.
Absolutely. Buckta winning the day, having a new friend here. He says, yes, sir. My homie Ernesto.
He's fired up.
AD went off looking like 2019 version. Ernie here, beautiful to watch, if I must say so myself. And he says that he hammered the over on AD points and boards and tool him for the double-double LOL. There it is.
You know what I'm kind of interested to know? So of course, we were ahead of that one. But I know you don't. Okay, so Tommy also says Comcast doesn't carry MSG and ESPN location, so blacked out. Yep. VPN, Tommy, that's what you need.
Yeah, that's what you need.
But let's just say hypothetically, Tony, I know I'm always big with you and these hypotheticals, but let's just say for some reason, like people were like, oh, we saw you do some good work on the show with the picks. We want to have like a monthly like betting account for you. Okay. I'm just okay. Hypothetical. Would you say you would be more interested in doing like these type of prop bets, or would you just rather like just bet like a team to win?
Ooh, I think I'd be better with the team to win.
Yeah. I just think it's so much easier because like I just get annoyed like, oh, this guy should go off, but because he had 7 rebounds instead of 8, I lose. It's just like, what? Like,
and it's like, especially for the individual player, I mean, anything could happen, like injury, leave the game, and then all of a sudden you're fucked, you know?
Right.
But I would be interested to see how the I guess how it's set up, where is like, I mean, is betting on prop bets for players more profitable in the end? Like in terms of
Ernie's saying prop bets pay more though, LOL, more exciting.
There we go. Yeah.
But my whole thing, because it gets back to like the parlays people do, and I just feel like, is it not, that's how they get you, Tony? Because everybody just sees like these big odds and like just goes for it. But what good are the odds if it doesn't win?
Right. No, exactly. No,
so
I think totally.
I just feel like the win and loss, like money line hockey, it's like, well, it's a 50-50 shot, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one or the other, not. I just feel like there's so many variables with the other stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Way more. Dude.
So it was like, like for instance, last night, let's say I had points on somebody on the Rangers. Oh, it didn't hit, but they win 6-2.
It's like, all right, well, what the hell?
That's why. Yeah. Nothing like just having your team and just it's a double win.
And it's interesting because I know, and I'm sure Ernie. It sounds like Ernie would do this anyway, but it's like maybe you put a prop bet on a player and you're like, oh, it's not working out. And then all of a sudden they live bet, double down on the team. They win. So it's like they lose a prop bet, but you end up winning the money line. So you kind of make the money back anyway, dude.
Yeah.
And then you just did like degenerate gambler. It's like, what are you doing?
Is that what Ernie is? Because he's saying, yeah, but scared money don't make no money. My FanDuel account is plus.
Wow, dude.
So
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
Scared money don't make money.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, a lot going on here. Where I actually want to start in kind of a mix up, but just a certain topic I'd like to go over. If we could go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted. Picked off at a pick 6. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right, so we don't usually, hammer Tony football on a Wednesday, but a big trade, I guess, technically not official, but we woke up to news that the Titans and Chiefs are working to finalize a trade that would send wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to Kansas City. The Titans would receive a conditional 4th-round pick in a trade that is expected to be completed Wednesday. Obviously, the Chiefs, struggling at wide receiver, Rice out for the season. Brown banged up, and then Juju suffered a hamstring injury last week. And I know Hopkins, hasn't been,
great,
like prime Hopkins last couple of years, but it did have I think it was an MCL in the offseason, but recovered for the opener here. But I just feel like we know his hands, his route running, even if he's not the fastest guy in the gym, I think this is going to work pretty well.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, when you think about Hopkins, I guess, career, probably, I mean, it's been over a decade, I would want to say.
2013, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, 11th year, 12th season, whatever you want to say.
Wait, so I'm curious if you could get this. So out of those, so 13 to 24. So let me just, I'm so bad at this stuff, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is 12 seasons. So just say, not count this year, obviously very early on. So of those 11 seasons, Tony, how many 1,000-yard receiving seasons for Hopkins?
I'm trying to think now. I mean, of those 12 seasons, how many won? 11, sorry. 11. Oh, this is 12. I want to say of those 11, 8.
7.
Okay.
But that's
that's
pretty
great.
Good. I mean, everybody's Mike Evans.
Exactly,
have 10 straight to start his career. 1 year, 954.
There we go. Who was on the Texans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He spent his first so 11, so 8 years on 7 years on the Texans, and then 3 in Arizona, and this is second in Tennessee. And despite their issues at quarterback the last few years, last year he had over 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns,
which is great, dude. I think again, like you're saying too, despite their quarterback woes as well, obviously going into a organization like the Chiefs, you're set up pretty well in the quarterback role, the coaching role sort of deal. So he's coming into like really honestly a prime area for himself to produce well. You mentioned the injuries too. He's going to be a prime target on the field. I think he has 6 catches for 150 this year so far.
They've had nothing at quarterback, so what do you want him to do?
Exactly, dude. So I wouldn't put that on him, I guess, necessarily. I think it's a great call by the Chiefs. Obviously, the injuries, you need to replace. You need something, especially when you see like the Jets getting Adams, the Bills getting Cooper. Like, you're going to definitely need to bolster your receiving core here, at least until some of the injured players get back. Yes, he's not the speediest, but like you said, I have no doubt about his hands, his ability, veteran mentality here. The only thing maybe I'd be worried about is when he was with the Cardinals, did he not get in trouble for PEDs?
Yeah. But,
again, clean, probably, but we've seen these older guys, too, bodies start to break down because of it. But, again, I don't think anything so far has alluded to that.
I just see my vision here, Tony, is rejuvenation.
Yeah, I agree.
With Hopkins, and I just think the move here. I wouldn't be surprised. I know this sounds nuts, being that he only has 150 yards and there's 8 games left or whatever it is, 9 games. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up with 1,000 yards. I think
that'd be wild.
I think it's just going to be electric from the start. Almost, I know he's a little older than he was, but almost like Randy Moss to the Patriots type of thing.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And I would imagine Mahomes has got to be hyped up, dude. Like, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about what the Chiefs gave up? Right?
And also, when you've won 3 in 5 years and you've won the last 2, you can take any risk. It doesn't matter. You've set out to. You've already done what you set out to do.
And it's like they've had these injuries.
Yeah,
and they haven't lost. Yeah, like what the hell, dude?
By far his worst start of his career. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Like I don't even know what's going on. Even like Travis Kelce hasn't been off to a phenomenal start to his year here.
Right.
Still winning games. Doesn't matter.
And to you, despite all of this, is it still like as simple as they're probably the favorite in the AFC? Obviously you could see other scenarios happening, but it's like. From what we've seen the last couple of years, right?
Even if there's a matchup in the playoffs from they seem like they're outmatched. Chiefs haven't been playing great in terms of scoring a lot. The team just finds ways to win, and they've been proving everyone wrong. So, there you have it, dude.
And a couple things here. Ernie tried with 5, but like we said, it's 7. And then he says Hopkins trade is better than the Adams trade. Josh B coaching, coaching, which we are not familiar with. Nope. And some random Jets fan at Mexico was kind of like airing out his, laundry, basically, just annoyed by the season. I said, well, listen, I've said this many times. When was the last good coach we had? Parcells?
Yeah.
That is a big thing. And yeah, it's better than the Adams trade because I think it's just because the Jets are going nowhere. And we just said, pretty pretty good chance like the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, obviously, this upcoming weekend, we'll see Hopkins' first game with the Chiefs. I'm sure it will be way better than Adams' first game with the Jets, because he got nothing.
It's just like, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, I know it's so hard to say what happens, and you want to be optimistic, but 2-5. So that means there is 10 games left. Yes, 7, so 17. What do you think they end up going record-wise? If you just had to throw something out there.
I think they could get to I don't know, 7 wins.
It's crazy.
I think they get to 7, dude. What do you think? 5?
7 wins. What's that? Just reversing course here? No, I think I think it'll be probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
But going into a year where you thought, minimum 9 or 10.
Yeah.
6 or 7. I mean, no, that's awful. It's a complete disaster.
Yeah, no, it's horrible. And I mean, again, what for a hot second looked like you'd be a close race between you and the Bills. I mean, I really can't see the Jets competing with them, because I think the Jets have them last week of the season. No. It's like one of the last couple of games
against the Bills.
The Bills, yeah.
Yeah, it might be the last game of the season.
And it's just it's probably going to come down. It could come down to you win this game, you could make it a wild card spot. And it's like, how am I going to have confidence in them winning?
And I was just thinking about this. Ernie kind of agreeing, saying 6-win team, and I think I have a good one for Ernie. Just thinking about prop bets here, I would say Hopkins anytime touchdown. They're playing the Raiders on Sunday. I think they're going to be full force. Mahomes is earning for one of those big offensive games.
Yeah.
And I would say go over receptions as well. So that's Ernie. He's big on his prop bets. I would say give that one a stab.
Yeah, there we go.
I might even do it myself, honestly.
Wow, Barnes the prop bet. Don't hear that often.
No. But and then the other news, which isn't really news, but more of a rumor, Cooper Kupp, teams are inquiring about a possible trade there with the Rams, which kind of surprised me. I mean, listen, obviously things are not looking good for the Rams with, Nakua and Kupp out, but I guess Kupp is about to come back soon. But just that, you're still in it with the 3 wild cards, all of that. But they're saying potentially, Tony, the Bucks would be in play for Cooper. I think that would be an outstanding move for them. It's outstanding recovery move.
I mean, again, another team, unfortunate injuries around your wide receivers. Evans, Godwin, got to figure it out, dude. Yeah, that would be a great landing spot. It's tough with the Rams, dude. It really is a shame. I mean, again, another team kind of got the injury bug a little bit early on. I mean, do you think they're kind of punting on the season?
Who?
The Rams.
Oh, well, if they're going to trade him, it feels like it.
Right.
Because like I said, why not? I don't know. Maybe wait till your next loss, because I don't even know who they're playing this week, but win, you're 3-4. I don't know. I mean, you're you have a shot. Yeah,
you have a shot. And I mean, that NFC West isn't crazy. I mean, you'll get the Cards 3-4, the Niners 3-4
Vikings tomorrow.
All right. Well,
but I mean, listen, I already bought the Vikings down to 2. Took it last night when I was doing the Rangers. But at the same time, Tony, it wouldn't be oh my God, the world is ending if the Rams won, just because we've seen Matthew Stafford do great things before, and Sean McVay.
No, yeah, definitely.
But will it happen? Probably not. But I'm saying it's not.
Yeah.
There's been a lot bigger upsets than that before.
You think if they lose tomorrow night, you see him traded by the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. But it is a shame, because they were in the playoffs last year. Really, were so close, and they could have went for it on 4th instead of kick. They didn't. All of that.
What a great game it was, though, as a neutral viewer.
That was the Lions.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And he says anytime touchdown, over on the receptions, and plus 40 yards. He knows it.
Yeah, there we go, dude.
Instant impact.
So there we go, dude.
That's for sure.
Oh gosh, dude.
Boy, do I really need a win this week in fantasy for the TCA league. Oh yeah, my God. I'm 2-5.
Ooh. Yeah, that definitely. Let me pull up the phone here. Oh, it's a shame, because I lost last week, and I really shouldn't have, dude. It just
don't you hate listen, look, we're all biased, of course, but I hate when I have a team that it's like, oh, I mean, it's pretty good. And then like my record's like 1-6. It's like, what the, like, it's this, it is a lot about luck. I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, yeah, Adams really screwed me, dude. And obviously,
No, and it's just, I feel like my team is loaded and I'm 2-5 because I got screwed. Matt just beat me by like a couple points, and it's like
Matthew Gabriel.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. I was in first. Now I'm down in second after the loss, dude. But still, I mean, I'm pretty excited with where I'm at right now, dude. We are at, Mike and I should say.
Is Runcible Spoon? That must be Kev Do. It says Kevin, but I've just
no, because I thought Kev Do was that acronym.
So a different Kevin.
Oh wait, no. Did he change his name?
Oh, he probably did.
He must have, because he had that like that acronym that meant something. Like, what does that mean? And he said something, and yeah, it must be him.
Okay, that makes sense. So I got to beat Kev Do this week.
Wow. I
It's
mean,
a 50-50 thing too.
He's got a pretty solid team.
How do you think mine matches up, though? Honestly,
let me see.
I'll read it out for you.
Okay,
so,
what do you got?
Goff, Mayfield. I mean, that's pretty close. And I had Jaden Daniels, who I think is better than both of those guys. But,
okay.
He's probably going to miss this week. Garrett Wilson, Jordan Addison. I think I got the edge there.
There we go.
Neighbors, Devonta Smith.
Nice.
I mean, toss up, I guess. James Conner, Breece Hall. Breece better. Gibbs and Brown. Gibbs is better.
Yep.
Schultz sucks, so we'll give him Ingram. But then Metcalf is better than A-Chain. Cameron Dicker better than McPherson. And the way that the season's been going, the Chargers defense better than the Jets defense.
Yeah.
Jets defense really last couple of years too. Like, listen, there's been some good games, but at no way, shape, or form, Tony, has the Jet defense the last couple of years lived up to the hype of like, oh, best in the league. They haven't even been close to best in the league.
No, yeah, I totally agree. It's tough though, because the Jets are playing the Patriots, right? So
yeah,
I mean, you never know. But then what? The Chargers are playing New Orleans. Oh, interesting matchups for both those teams, actually.
And then I guess Kamara just got the extension, which I was surprised about because he kind of was like calling out how bad things are because the fans left in the second quarter, and he's like, "Oh, that's on us, it's on the fans." But like, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you start the season off so well, and then you just fall flat in your face. Obviously, fans will be like, "Yo, like, what's going on?"
Well, I think post Drew Brees, they've completely butchered it.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I mean, you had to like they tried. Oh, let's try with Jameis, and then what? Andy Dalton,
right?
Now Derek Carr, and I know like at times Carr looked like pretty good, but come on, have we not seen what Derek Carr is at this point?
Exactly, and it's so tough too, and especially when you get an organization like the Saints who had that franchise quarterback in Drew Brees so long, Super Bowl, whatever, so hard to come back from. But then if you're like a Saints fan, and I'm looking at like, I don't know, let's say the Packers, look at the quarterbacks that they've had, like from Favre to Rodgers to Love. I mean,
it's crazy with
seamless
Love,
transitions,
too.
dude.
Love seemed like a complete bust.
Yeah.
They give Rodgers an extension, but then only to trade him the following year to the Jets. But yeah, it's amazing because that seemed very questionable, especially because they were kind of like on the cups of, maybe they can make one more run. And then instead of helping him with a receiver, they take Jordan Love. And here we are. I mean, it just seems like they know a thing or two.
Yeah. And I feel like, too, when you want to look at them, I mean, obviously Rodgers was behind Favre for the first couple of seasons. Same thing with Jordan Love as well. I mean, is that the way to go with quarterback? Because we see so many teams who like draft a quarterback starting immediately game one, and it's like they have a tough time adjusting, or whether it is to the NFL in general, or the way the team is run, the offense, whatever. I mean, maybe that's the way to go with some of these quarterbacks, is just let them sit for 2 years or a season or two behind the starter.
It's just crazy though. You know what's nuts? Like 1 year is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So 2 years, no one. They don't have the restraint to do something like that unless it's a scenario. For one of the last ones we had with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, obviously Reed didn't know what he had in Mahomes, but that's like the last time where because the team has to be good. That's a problem. Because once the team isn't good, what's the motivation to put Jacoby Brissett or Andy Dalton out there? And I mean, what an indictment on Bryce Young, the fact that he's still not starting. Dalton didn't even throw for 100 yards. And I just saw, I guess he's okay, luckily, but he was in a car accident, Andy Dalton.
Are you serious?
It says Panthers Dalton involved in an automobile accident. I didn't see any details on this. Let's see. No one went to the hospital, but he was evaluated for medical personnel. He was with his family.
Yeah,
but
it's
thank
terrible.
God, everybody's okay. Never know with that stuff.
It says neither him or his family were transported by ambulance. They were all good, walked away.
Yeah. So obviously that's the important thing there.
You think it was a angry Panthers fan, maybe?
I mean, that's a little
ridiculous. Come on.
Ernesto saying, go, Pack, go.
He's
Trust
hyped.
the process. We have a top 5 secondary year in, year out. Rodgers learned while practicing against Woodson. Love with Jahari Alexander.
There you go.
But I have to say, of all the teams in any sport where I'm not like a fan of, I would probably say that just given everything, the history, the stadium, the process, probably have the most respect for the Packers, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you would be in awe going to that stadium. I mean, it is unbelievable. I want to, like, I'm already missing because it's almost like a year since I went last time. I'm almost like, boy, I wish I was like going again. And it's just crazy to feel that we have to, fly in the middle of the country and then drive 2 hours from Milwaukee to experience that instead of going an hour and a half down the road or less to MetLife because it's a shithole.
Yeah, dude, I would love, honestly, a Wisconsin trip. I think would be great. I've always wanted to go there. The breweries, the Brewers, dude, the Packers. Like, I think it'd be a cool spot.
You think we have time, like maybe like a week 16 or 17?
Maybe we can, grab Ernie and we'll all go together, dude.
Oh man, and then just for you too, you would love the sense of camaraderie, Tony, with the tailgating and then all of the bars down the street, right across from the stadium, and then stay at the hotel, walk to the stadium. I mean, what more do you need? I mean, it's on a silver platter.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. You were in a box, right?
Yeah. Honestly, I would say for football, definitely best experience I've ever had.
I mean, it's so sick.
A huge box, and the fact that you see everyone freezing below you, but you get the heaters up there, so you're just chilling. Like, you don't have to be bundled up. Sleeves. And the fact that it was the Chiefs too, that was just a ridiculous game. And I had the pack too, so they pulled the upset, which was great. And then it was hilarious. I was telling you about this last year. But how we went over to the Radisson, which is the Green Bay Packers hotel, and they have a casino attached to it. But we were talking to people at the blackjack table, and I guess they saw Collinsworth there for breakfast, and all these Chiefs fans were there. I mean, it was really a cool experience.
That's awesome, dude.
And a couple more. Tommy saying Steelers probably the best organization.
Kinda
and then
crazy.
Ernesto says I've never gone. Unfortunately, I've seen them all play local though, from DC to Foxborough. Definitely recommend it. And listen, Tommy. The Steelers are definitely right up there, in terms of crown jewel organizations in the NFL. It is interesting though, with the Steelers, and we've talked about this so many times, is like it's hard for me, and especially being a Yankee fan, you're used to high expectations, and obviously the Steelers, all the Super Bowls they've won. How is Mike Tomlin judged? Because it's just like he's been there so long. They haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. I mean, what do you think, Tony? I mean, it seems like the team's pretty good now. I mean, are we getting to a point where they have to advance in the playoffs or get to a Super Bowl soon before it's like a question of, him being there too long?
I would think so, especially now where they kind of have quarterbacks that they can rely on.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're going to expect a Super Bowl in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So he has Tomlin has a playoff streak. No, what, or is it just a winning season?
Yeah, 17
straight winning seasons, which is, great.
But how many 8-8s? It's kind of tough. But then obviously if the Jets had that,
I know, right? Tough. It is kind of tough, dude. But I don't know. I mean, how many years would you give him without a Super Bowl?
I mean, I guess it just depends how this year goes, and then moving forward, who the quarterback is. Are you growing with Justin Fields? Are you giving Russ another year? Or are you drafting somebody? But I think that's the thing, and it's just like the Saints with the post-Big Ben era.
Yeah,
it's been a little choppy. Kenny Pickett was a bust,
right? But I mean, again, like right now, it's not looking bad.
No,
I like Fields.
Yeah, no, so do I. I think too, there's a thought when it's kind of funny because obviously his leadership has been questioned at times, but I was listening to, I think, NFL radio, and they're saying like that maybe Tomlin, the reason why he wanted to make the switch is he feel like Fields isn't the type of leader that Russ can be.
Okay. I guess though, but I mean, obviously we're not in the locker rooms, but based on what I've seen from Russ, Is he? Like, I wouldn't get behind him right now.
I feel like, though, he's humbled as shit, though. Because,
Really?
like, the last couple of years, I mean, pretty rough compared to, like, what type of pedestal he was on before in Seattle. I mean, he was, like, before that last year, I mean, he was, like, untouchable in terms of, like, no one was saying one bad thing about him.
Yeah, no, it was.
It all fell apart.
And then with him with Pete Carroll, that thing was kind of weird. And I didn't know who would be, like, really at fault there, because it was kind of like a he say thing, you know?
Right.
But I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, yesterday that fucking Subway commercial popped up in my Instagram feed. So
Russ?
Yeah. The Danger Witch.
Is he in his Pittsburgh gear, or is it like an older recording?
No, it's an older one. So, yeah, like it was when it first came out. Dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Really? Okay, gotcha.
You ever done anything dangerous? Whoa. Danger. Oh.
Yeah, one of those. It's like, haha.
Yeah, dude,
right?
like sick, dude.
I still can't believe though that you had the Harvey Dent.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah,
dude.
You never played it for me. I know
it's on Binge Buddies.
Oh, but different board.
Different board. Yeah, different presets. Yeah,
okay,
dude.
Gotcha. That one really threw me for a loop.
Yeah. We gotta get our city back, Harvey.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, so tomorrow, we'll talk about the Rams and Vikings more, and maybe if we get a trade to go down here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's a nail break. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save. Are you kidding me? Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak. The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Yay, saying Fields would be a good addition to Miami if 2 gets hurt again. How about a good addition to the Jets?
Yeah.
Because they should have drafted him in the first place, Jay.
They really should have.
On draft night, I remember watching that.
Tommy's hyped for hockey, dude.
Tommy's hyped for hockey. And then, Jay, Rangers were skating circles around those Canadiens.
That's a fact, dude.
Now, you would know better than me. Where's Jay, with the Rangers? Is it like the fake Mets fan territory, or where is he?
I mean, listen, I never claimed Jay to be a fake Mets fan. But yes, his fandom to the Rangers is, I guess, vicariously
Growing
through me,
you.
but it is growing.
Yeah.
But he is from New Jersey, so it's like,
there's conflict.
Yeah. I think
No, I mean, listen. I mean, I fully welcome Jay aboard if he's going to be into it. That's the thing. I just don't want him halfway in thinking about prop bets. That's the only thing, He said, LOL, I'd say it's similar to my Mets fandom. Oh, man. But anyhow, as we've alluded to, an absolute beatdown of the Canadiens last night at the Bell Center. 7-2 Rangers. A blink of an eye, it was 2-0
literally
in the first 2 minutes. And it was just great timing for me, besides the minus 245, like I had said, the fact that it was the first Ranger game I got to see through and through. And the nice part about it too, Tony, is so much scoring from guys that you're not, really expecting. And it started out with Mika, his second. So you hope, this year is going to be a stronger year after having an inconsistent year last year.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Brodzinski, you never expect him to score. Riley Smith. So Brodzinski is first. Smith's second, Heedle's second on a power play.
Yeah, that's
so less than halfway through the first period, Tony. It's 4-0 Rangers, and Suzuki does get one almost 13 minutes in. So it was 4-1 going to the first intermission. Suzuki his second, so all of a sudden 4-2, and then Joe Micheletti saying like, like this is still a game, like take it easy. But Braden Schneider is second of the season, so 5-2. Going into the third, all Rangers from that point on. Philip Heedle with the second goal of the game. So good. He's a guy you kind of forget about, missed a lot of time last year. He could play a big role on this team. And then Kakko, his first goal of the season, 7-2. That was the final. And as he has been for pretty much every game this season, Igor, another vintage performance, 21-23. In the Rangers, 4-0 road record and only 1 loss this year in overtime. Pretty much as good of a start as you could have hoped for the Rangers. And it's nice to see there's no hangover of the disappointment from the end of last season.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say, I mean, obviously this game, bit of a wash, not a ton, I suppose, to talk about other than the scoring you mentioned. I would say, I mean, it just seemed like the Canadiens, obviously, on paper, not as good as the Rangers, but just did not show up to play. You mentioned 2-0 the first 2 minutes, dude. And I mean, I think that second goal by Johnny Brodzinski, by the way, so it was just so weird. I mean, I know Mika hammered one in, great wrister from him, demoralizing, yes. But that play with Johnny Brodzinski, I don't remember it, but it was gonna be an icing call.
Mm-hmm.
And Canadiens, the two defensemen just kind of expected to hear the whistle, stopped skating. All of a sudden, Edstrom comes in, touches the puck, icing's canceled, feeds Brodzinski, and it's it just hammers it past Montembeault. So it's what are you even doing there? The Riley Smith goal, too, pickpockets somebody, gets into front of the net, nets it, unassisted goal right there. And I think it was just, I would say the difference between seeing this type of game as opposed to last year. Yes, Canadiens, similar team, still making those mistakes. But I would say, last season, Rangers were not capitalizing as much on those mistakes in terms of finding the back of the net. So clearly, the additions of Riley Smith, putting Hedl and Kakko on the same line, great job there. Hedl, 2 goals and an assist, Kakko with the goal and 2 assists. It just seems like that everything is really gelling. And you said it too, Johnny Brodzinski, 4th line with Edstrom getting in there too. That's what you want to see. That's what I was talking about, maybe last week, where it's I want to see the bottom 6 starting to form a little bit. And then that's when you can get a significant crew of guys that can, make it deep into the postseason. So, I mean, you got to be happy with that. Again, Canadiens, take it as you want. But this is exactly what the Rangers need to do against teams like this, dominant, emphatic victories with a lot of offense. Even, again, last season, they would have won this game, but it would have been 3-2. It would have been 4-2.
Yeah.
So just to see all this offense bumping, I mean, I think is going to be great, especially when you start facing teams like Florida, like Boston, like Vegas.
Of Florida, tomorrow at the Garden. Should we go, dude?
Dude.
We got to go, dude.
Oh, wow, dude. I don't know, dude. I would love to. I mean, tomorrow night, dude. What do you think tickets are like? I mean, dude, it's probably the classic, $150 to walk in. Come on.
I just was looking at this, honestly.
On where? Game time?
Ticketmaster. Hold on. I swear, it might have changed by now, but the last time I looked, it was $110 or something.
Really?
Which I was really surprised about.
Let's see what going on here.
$115. Isn't that nuts? And for another $8, that was in the 414s, but you could get to section 223 for $123. And that's about as good of a deal as you're going to get.
Dude, these are great seats.
Which ones? 223?
223, pretty solid. Row 19 up, but still, I mean, you're seeing it, dude.
Damn. Kind of something to think about. A half circle situation.
Oh gosh, dude. Chase card member. I'm a Chase card member.
Wow. I think
you saved $6, dude.
but basically, so what happens if later on tonight or early this morning, I'm oh, I got the tickets, we're gone. Are you going to be available, Tony? Or I mean, what do you think?
See, that's the thing, dude. I gotta talk to Renee. I think
supposed to have
Craig go tomorrow. But look at the calendar, Brian.
Not there.
It's not there. So maybe it got moved. But if that is the case, then yes, in theory, I would be available.
Okay. Because I'm not 100% sure I could go, but it's just something I'm just thinking about. And
oh my God, that'd be so sick, dude.
Is kind of crazy.
I know early in the season too, you're getting them.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll let you know if it's even a possibility.
Okay.
And
then I'll talk to Renee after the show.
Yeah. Onward, upward, all of that.
Yes, dude.
But yeah, either way, I'm just earning to return to the Garden. What else we got here?
Jay Bird, thirsty for a good sports team. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Jay's do or die with the Jets, so obviously died.
Yeah.
Tommy Donovan, Rangers looking way better 5v5 this year. No doubt. I mean, only one of those 7 goals came off the power play. Everything else 5-on-5. Love that, dude. Let's go.
So no, great start, and it was surprising to see them. What was it? Columbus? They lost 5-1 yesterday.
Florida?
Yeah. After the Maurice contract extension.
Yes.
And I guess he's been a head coach since age of 28. They were talking about that on DNR this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
good for him,
long
dude.
run.
Yeah, that's huge.
And how about this? We tried to help Yanni out last night. You didn't anyway. I did. The Islanders, I mean, is it not too typical? 1-0 loss at home to the Red Wings as -170. I knew the -170 seemed a little crazy.
Yeah, no, that is kind of funny too. Patrick Kane with the lone goal there. But Alex Lyon, picking up kind of where we left off last season too, coming in for, I guess, I want to say it was Husso, right? For the Red Wings. 29 saves. If you're the Islanders, you just got to get more going there.
Oh, yeah.
What's it? Sorokin started? No.
Sorokin did start.
And the Red Wings only had
shots and you lost the game. I mean, that, boy, man, that is tough. Like, I just, you thought the Wah move would really energize this team. I mean, I know it's so early. I mean, listen.
It is early.
6 games, but I don't know. It's just.
But that is like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you can get one goal?
And Horvat, I feel like hasn't had, the impact they were hoping for. So, I mean, what's the path forward here, you think?
I don't know. It's tough, dude. I mean, I guess you kind of want to see what goes on with Horvat, with Barzal. Obviously, you have Noah Dobson, too. Those are your core guys, I guess. I know Brock Nelson's been a great guy, a great player, great leader, but, he's 33, which, again, I guess is fine. But, I mean, he's got to continue to play like he did like 2 seasons ago. John Gabriel Peugeot, I think. Yeah. That guy's been an absolute bust. Get rid of him. Kyle Palmieri.
Lee, same thing. Cizikas.
Yeah, Casey Cizikas, dude. I mean, I just feel like these guys, these are the names we've been seeing on the Islanders for the past 7-8 years, maybe. And it's just like, I mean, these guys are, I guess they're fine, but you got to be better, especially when you have players like Barzal, like Horvat, that aren't really like, I know Barzal has been good last year, pretty sure, but obviously Dobson too. But these guys are just not, your main goal scorers aren't scoring enough. Clearly losing 1-0 here. So, like, you got to get a big name. You got to get someone who's electric, dude. That's what the Islanders need. I mean, yeah, obviously McDavid would be great, but again, I feel like bring in somebody, another forward to spark something. I mean, Barzal should be doing way better than how he's been playing, to be honest. I want to say he won Rookie of the Year. I don't know. 80 points last season. That was career high. Great. Oh, yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, he did win Rookie of the Year. 17, 18. I don't know if he won Rookie of the Year, but his first full year, 82 games, 85 points. Touched 80 points last season, but I think it was like a late run push. He's got to be more consistent, more emphatic. 3 points through 6 games. There's a lot of players on the league who are doing better than that.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this. Did Matt Martin retire?
I don't know. I mean, he must have, dude. Let's see. I feel like I would have
Sidney
heard.
Esiason.
I would have heard if he retired, though. He's just unrestricted free agent.
Oh, okay. So but he's old, right? Isn't he like 35?
35 years old. He's been a bruiser enforcer around the league for a while. Islanders, Maple Leafs, yes, Sidney Esiason as well. Which, I mean, hey, man. I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, hockey is such a sport that's, relying much more on speed and technicality rather than physicality, I suppose. So enforcers like this guy, Ryan Reeves, kind of a dying breed, I suppose. Because obviously this guy on the ice is not keeping up with any of the young guys. So I don't know. I mean, maybe a team could sign him like maybe the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah.
Maybe the Sharks.
Yeah. Well, it's just tough physical, but he's not a defenseman. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
There's still room for Phil Kessel.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Is he still playing?
No way, dude. There's no way. He's probably an unrestricted free agent, dude. He might be down at the Horseshoe later tonight, dude. Phil Kessel, unrestricted free agent. I mean, come on, dude. Speaking of Wisconsin, huh? 37 years old, dude.
He could still play, though.
He honestly probably could. And I would imagine if like him and Matt Martin got signed at the same time, he probably would have way better stats.
How about at 34 another grizzled vet 5, he played 82 games, which is pretty impressive, but didn't play last year or this year. Yeah.
Past 2 years. And technically 2 years ago on the Knights. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I wasn't mistaken here. So it was the Minnesota Wild that beat the Panthers 5-1.
Last night, yeah.
And I believe somebody said about, throwing down on the plus 125.
I think you did.
Imagine if I had actually done that. I don't know. With these other teams, sometimes I just get annoyed because it's like, I feel like I'd rather just live and die with the Rangers.
Honestly. Yeah. No, I think that's what you were saying yesterday.
Yeah. And, you saw the Lightning 8-5 over the Devils. Kind of expected a bounce back after that. Really bad performance there. Hagel with the hat trick. So there you go, Josh B. Victor Hedman even with 2 goals, which is a surprise. Another surprise, Sabres 4-2 over the Stars.
Very surprising.
So that's a big win, for them. And, just kind of one of those things. Sometimes it's tough to win on the road. And another surprise, the Blue Jackets all over the Maple Leafs 6-2. I mean, I guess it was the back-to-back.
Yeah, probably.
Justin Danforth with the goal and 2 assists as well. Tony.
Let's go, dude. Our guy from Sacred Heart.
And the Jets are 6-0, and not Jay's Jets, but 3-2 in St. Louis last night.
Knew it.
Hellebuck, Tony, the 27 saves.
Killing it.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, obviously they came up short last year playoffs, but I mean, are they dangerous?
They are definitely dangerous. Kyle Connor obviously is great. Ellers has been around for a while. Lowry too. Vladislav Nemetsnikov is interesting. That was a guy who I believe was in the trade for JT Miller with Tampa Bay, I believe, on the Rangers for a hot minute, cup of coffee, did nothing. Should be interesting to see what he does, I suppose, this year for the Jets. But Niederreiter has been around too. I always get Scheifele, I think is how you say it. I gotta look it up.
Like Shoffley's brother?
Shoffley's brother, Scheifele. And then Velarde is a great youthful talent as well, coming over from the Kings. Morrissey, great defenseman. And then Connor Hellebuck, even last year, had phenomenal stats as a goaltender. It was an unfortunate early round exit. Was it against the Stars? I'm actually not sure in the playoffs. Let's see. Where are we going? Let's see what we had here. It was against Colorado. The early round, Colorado.
Yeah.
That's tough, dude. Obviously the West jam-packed, competitive there. Unfortunate matchup for the Jets, I suppose, against Colorado, dominant there. But regardless, I expect, at it again. We haven't seen Winnipeg, I feel like, go far in the playoffs in a while. I could be wrong there, but at least from what I've recognized. So I think maybe having that experience, running it back this year, especially with the way Colorado's been looking a little iffy, obviously this is early, but still, I would expect them to be competitive in the playoffs this year for sure, dude.
Yeah. So that'll be, an interesting story. I love when someone texts you, and then calls you 5 minutes later. It's like,
oh, great.
Why didn't you just lead with the call then?
Yeah, literally.
5 minutes, you have to call right now. Maybe it was less. So
and it's like, also, if you texted me and I didn't answer, there's probably a reason why.
Canucks 6-3 over the Blackhawks. JT Miller, goal and 2 assists.
Yep, no surprise there.
Had 2 goals as well.
Yeah.
Same Vancouver off to a nice start here. And then you mentioned the Avs, 3rd straight win after an 0-4 start, 3-2 over the Kraken. And Kiviranta, are you familiar with him? Had 2 goals and 2 assists last night?
Negative, not familiar.
It seems like Colorado just churns these guys out.
28-year-old out of Finland. You want to look at some of his stats? I would imagine that came over from Dallas, I guess, 2 seasons ago. Last year, 56 games played. Interesting. I wonder if he had an injury. But regardless, I mean, I guess he's off to a good start. I mean, you want to look at his stats right here. Hasn't had a full season yet. Middling points for a left winger too. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. Maybe Colorado saw something that Dallas didn't, and do they have a breakout star in their hands? But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think maybe more of a storyline there for the Avs. Starting goaltender.
Noonan.
Justice. His name is Justice.
Justice Noonan. So maybe giving Gorgie a run for his money. I mean, obviously didn't have a good end to his season.
Yeah. No. And obviously I didn't have a good start to this year either.
Yeah.
And you want to look at this guy has been, I guess, the backup for a few years now. Out of Finland also, dude. So I guess it should be interesting. I mean, I would imagine, Colorado, the organization there, the high expectations. I don't care about Georgiev. If he's not producing, they're going to probably start someone who is. So, you said, exactly. We'll give him a run for that starting position.
Yeah. And one that I kind of called yesterday, but you were a little hesitant. Predators with the shutout. Saros, dude. So I just knew they were due for a victory. I don't know if it means anything moving forward, but obviously that's got to feel good for them.
Oh, yeah.
The Oilers lose a heartbreaker as the Hurricanes, 3-2 in overtime.
Oh, McDavid with the 2 goals.
Two goals too. You knew he was due to score some more. But I think that's just one of those games. Listen, anything could happen, especially once you get to overtime with the rules and all of that stuff. So it was Aho with the game winner. So Carolina 3-2 early on, and the Oilers 2-4-1. And speaking of 4, the Senators with the 4-0 win over the Utah Hockey Club.
Surprising.
So they're off to a good start too, 4-2, and Forsberg pitching the shutout for Ottawa,
which is wild.
And speaking of wild, how about the Flames? 4-3. They're 5-0-1 to start the year. A team that didn't have much expectations coming into the year. And Wolf, the goaltender, 35 saves. So filling in there for Markstrom, who they traded in the offseason. The Flames, it's interesting. Huberdeau, does he bounce back? Who knows?
Yeah, seems like it.
The Sharks are still winless, 3-1. Troy Terry, Tony, with the goal for them last night. Dostal, 27 saves. So the Ducks, it's been a rough couple years, but off to a decent start. So it'll be interesting to see with a lot of younger players, can they be competitive? And then the Kings taking it on the chin, 3 in the first, 3 in the third by Vegas. Samsonov, 32 of 33 in net. And Hurdle had 2 goals and 2 assists.
Your guy.
For Vegas. So, who knows? It's been a couple of years since they won that cup now, but maybe they are squarely back in the mix. And, a lot of talent still on that team. And I think, too, we've yet to see the best of Jack Eichel in a Vegas uniform.
Oh, absolutely, dude. And I mean, if you're getting production at a Hurdle like that, obviously someone who was stuck on the Sharks for a little bit, probably hyped up. Ilya Samsonov, too, with 32 saves on the night. That was great. Speaking of the Knights here, I think very much so in the mix. I mean, Rocky season last year ended up in a wild card position, does get knocked out by Dallas. But still, I mean, imagine if they were a higher seed, if they got a bye that first week or didn't play Dallas that first playoff round, like they could have went further. Yeah. So I absolutely think they'll be making the playoffs, being competitive. I think that they're earning for it. And I mean, again, playing in Vegas 4-0.
Yeah. And one I forgot to mention, 4-1 now for the Capitals over the Flyers. So they've been off to a really hot start, and I think that's surprising. I mean, I know they have some younger players now, but, of course, you think about, Wilson and Ovechkin and the grizzled vets, over there in Washington. So Chuck Lindgren, another good performance there in net. So who knows? Maybe they're a team that sneaks up on people. Obviously, I think the key for them is to really get a strong year out of Ovechkin. It's been very hit and miss the last few seasons, but obviously we know, what a player he is, what a primetime, performer he is. And kind of interesting the way the schedule works. And I know it's because of the full slate of NBA tonight. Only one game and a rematch of the game from last night, switching venues from Philly to DC. We go Capitals and Flyers. So that's a TNT game. So kind of interesting that they are scared of the NBA once again.
Yeah, dude,
You're tight in the scheduling this year.
These so stupid.
Yeah. I mean, you could put 3 games tonight, be okay. Because I think you got to think about sometimes, even when you're going up against like the mighty NFL, it's like you also have to keep in mind that you do have people that are just hockey fans, and this is what they want to watch. So I think you don't always have to take a back seat to the other leagues.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I don't know, dude. It is a little perplexing to me. And the matchup isn't even that great. I mean, I guess they're rival teams close to each other.
Flyers just seem like a mess. Torts fired by midseason, probably.
I really hope not, dude. Flyers do seem like a mess, though. I mean, yeah. They should not be 1-4-1, dude. And they should not have lost last night. I mean,
in that fashion too.
And I think they had like maybe 15 shots on goal too. Yeah. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
dude?
Yeah.
Like Capitals defense isn't like phenomenal.
And after the collapse to miss the playoffs last year.
Oh my God, that's right.
Pretty surprising. But you know what, Tony? Why not? Let's just strike up the music here. A 1-game Wednesday hockey frenzy in the nation's capital.
There we go. The lowly hockey night in America. This is what we have on Wednesday night, dude. The Capitals playing yet again the back-to-back against the Flyers. The rematch, the salty run back here for the Flyers. They're plus 120 on the money line, over under 5.5. Dylan Strome from Washington, we see him last night. 8 points in the year so far, 3 goals, 5 assists. We talked about Tom Wilson as well. Off to probably the greatest year of his career, 5 goals through the first 5 games here. Flyers, Torts, Urson, yearning for a win here, Brian. Do you think they get it here?
Unfortunately, Tony, I don't. I just think, I know it's a tough back-to-back. They're both in the back-to-back, obviously. But I just think there's something fishy in the water there in Philadelphia.
Yeah, dude.
And I think the Capitals will continue to surprise. And I think Ovechkin is saying, listen, I didn't really play a role last night. Just had 3 shots, no points. Time to find pay dirt. So I say 2 goals, 1 assist. And I think we're going to see a Capital 4-2 victory, winning 4-1 last night, 4-2 tonight. Total is set at
5.5.
5.5. So that's going to be the over in the Capitals. How about you?
I'm definitely thinking the Caps as well. I mean, you said it, dude. Ovechkin, 3 shots on goal last night. Nothing to show for it on the score sheet. Undoubtedly, he'll be showing up with something tonight, and I'm sure Tom Wilson will as well. And just look at the Flyers roster. I mean, I understand a lot of youthful talent, a lot of hope, a lot of dreams. But who's solid, honestly? Who's some guy you can lean on? Sean Couture, maybe 10 years ago, dude. So give me the Capitals here. Sam Urson should be doing a way better job, by the way, for the Flyers as well. I understand, a lot of shots last night, but still not great, not great. Give me the Capitals. You say 4-2. I'll say 5-1. So still Caps, still the over. It's more of a deficit.
And just like that, that is your NHL Wednesday frenzy. So obviously a light slate, tonight, but that's what we have. And before we wrap up, if we could just take a quick trip, Tony, to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the 3, and the Lakers win the game.
So the Lakers do win the game, but the Knicks do not, getting slaughtered pretty much in Boston here, 132-109, and the Celtics hitting 29 3-pointers. Not a typo there. 29, crazy. Hitting them at a 47.5% clip. It was a 19-point game after, the first quarter. And I have to say, I get the whole idea of new pieces coming together, the time to gel. But usually, you have a team, they get their rings. There's all the emotions of that. Maybe there was a little pre-gaming going on earlier in the day. Who knows? Probably not, just kidding. But point is, usually they come out flat. They're thinking about the championship run and not the game ahead of them. This was the exact opposite here. Tatum, sorry, Michael Butker, but, picking up where he left off last year, 37 points, 10 assists, 8 of 11 from beyond the stripe. And my newfound favorite player here, Derek White, 24 points, 6 of 10 from 3-point range. And there's really not, from a Knicks side, anything that you could point to here that was positive, other than this team needs to play more together. And, they're going to be better than this. But, of course, this is just not what you want, Tony, as you would say.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, season opener, Boston, rivaling city, gets smacked in the mouth. And like you said, dude, I mean, it's just like ridiculous. I mean, I haven't, I didn't play basketball my entire life, but I do recall being in middle school, playing basketball, and the coach, I remember him saying something like, defend the perimeter. Mm-hmm. And it's it's just like, what are we doing, dude? I mean, come on.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah. I think they'll bounce back. But like I said, I know it's tough for Knicks fans. They've been so excited about this team. But of course, they just want to see them, bounce back next time out. And I'm sure they will. And, might be something where first month of this season, maybe they're only a game or two over 500, but then hit their stride. Obviously, it doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. So interesting story there. But obviously, Celtics looking like they're a threat, Tony, to go back to the NBA Finals. That's for sure.
I mean, that is everyone's narrative after last night's game.
And a team that would love to go back to the NBA Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers, the other game last night, 110-103 over the Wolves. Yes, the whole Bronny making his debut, father-son, got his 3 minutes in. But you had a great game from Anthony Davis, another favorite of mine.
That's right.
36 points, 16 rebounds, 13 of 50 from the stripe. That's what you love to see. 4 assists, 3 blocks as well. LeBron, nothing crazy. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And then you also got 18 out of Rui Hachimura. So a solid win for the Lakers. Dalton Knecht makes his NBA debut as well. Had 5 points, including a 3-pointer. So I think a solid way for the Lakers to start the season out, especially against a talented team such as the Timberwolves. But I think it's just going to be one of those things. And we saw, he was a big reason why they won this game. I think, of course, LeBron is still very important, but as the Lakers go, is as AD goes. I mean, he's going to be the vocal point of this offense.
Yeah. And I mean, you think he stays healthy?
I mean, he stayed healthy last year, so maybe he's found something. But I think, he's at least, there's 82 games. I mean, I would say he's going to at least play 65 of them, and he hopes to play 70 to 75.
And so you're saying if he does get injured, maybe long-term out 8 weeks of the year, like during those 8 weeks, Lakers horrific run. Like they can't survive without him.
They will, I'm sure, trade for somebody if that happens.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it just LeBron, this isn't, 2005 in Cleveland. He can't, just put a team on his back. He needs help. So AD is vital to the success of the Lakers this year.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree there. As well as to the success of your fantasy team.
Yes, exactly. No, but watch though. I'm telling you, watch I end up winning the league, Tony, because that's the type of stuff that happens. You don't want somebody because it's like kind of just goes back to just with anybody. And Dave Rothenberg might think otherwise, but you're not going to be right every time. So, sometimes that stuff will help out.
That is true. That is true, dude.
So a full slate tonight. Just wanted to make note of. You got a doubleheader on ESPN, Bucks Sixers, Sixers without Paul George and Embiid. So a lot of stuff going around like, geez, Embiid's out already. Why did he play the Olympics? But that's why, Tony, you draft somebody late in the draft like Andre Drummond. So who knows? I know there was, some controversy about some of the picks, Michael. But so far they might be looking pretty good, no?
What is Embiid out for? What's wrong with him?
I don't know.
Doesn't even we can go to out. Let's see. Knee has been ruled out Wednesday's regular episode.
I feel like he's had a knee issue for like 10 years, right?
Dude, yeah.
So that's tough. And that's why it's tough to see with the Sixers. I mean, they hope Embiid stays healthy, but I think they're relying, other than Tyrese Maxey, a lot of older players. So that's always a challenge. Going to be interesting to see what the deal is with the Bucks, the Lillard and Giannis get more comfortable playing with one another.
Oh, yeah.
The whole Doc factor as well. You think he gets booed in his return?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're tight.
They are so tight, dude.
So that's the first game of that doubleheader. And then Suns Clippers will open the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. So Clippers first game away from Crypto.com Arena as the home team. So a new era beginning. Kawhi out though. So it's just like, again, like it's kind of like the Sixers, Clippers, some older players on that team. You have to wonder what this season will look like for them. I mean, they have James Harden, Norm Powell. I don't think this team is that good.
I mean, the new arena, the Intuit Dome, looks pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Just looking at this photo right here.
Yeah.
I don't really like. What the hell is their new logo now, though? Looks like a ship and a crosshair.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that. That's a Clipper.
What is a Clipper?
I have no idea.
No idea, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, Kawhi, James Harden. I don't know, dude. Zubac is all right. Russell Westbrook, but I mean, like, how is he going to be good? Is he going to play well? Is he going to mesh well with others?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think because of Kawhi too. That same thing with the Sixers. I don't think, I don't think there's really much hope, and I think they blew it.
Xavier Moon. Norman Powell.
Who?
Xavier Moon.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I guess really other than that, you want to just give me, if you had to, Tony, one lock, just for Ernesto, honestly.
One lock in the NBA.
Yeah.
Definitely not the Clippers. Let me tell you that much.
The Suns. Kind of like it, honestly, but sometimes they don't show up. That's
yeah,
the thing.
I know.
Durant, Beal, Booker,
new dome. I don't know, dude. I would stay away from there. I mean, Bucks over Sixers, I think would be a good bet. If you're looking for a dog, maybe Pistons over Pacers.
Could be.
I kind of like that move. Pelicans. What's the deal with Zion?
He's healthy. They should win, but 6.5. You never know.
Yeah, I would say you want to lock. Give me Pistons over Pacers. Lock, dude. Let's go.
Wow,
that's the lock of the night.
I'm going to say the Bucks over the Sixers, and it's a little dicey, but Bucks 3.5 points favorites on the road. I might honestly take that one myself. I like that one.
Really, dude.
We'll have to see. A lot of games on the docket.
Pistons.
And like we had been mentioning, there'll be a little more NBA chatter this season for us. And I was just going to look on here. So Celtics next game is tomorrow against the Wizards, and the Knicks next game home against the Pacers on Friday. So that's really what we have here. So let's see. And then Michael Buck down the way out. He'll never forget the first ever hotel he stayed at in California was at a Best Western in Inglewood. The hotel manager was so nice to Dad and I. Yeah, I mean that's like your Phil Kessel of hotels. The
literally, dude. And in Inglewood, California.
Yeah, well, that's where the Intuit Dome is. I don't know much about Inglewood, honestly. I don't think it's not like Compton or something.
I mean, I've never been.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I know back in the day it wasn't good.
Yeah, but hey, neither was Bridgeport, right?
I think it was the opposite, actually. I think back in the day, Bridgeport was sick. Now it's not.
That's what I meant. We get the point. We get the point. And he says Inglewood is fire. It's not Compton. Anyhow, I think that's a good stopping point here.
I think so too, dude.
But a quick sprint. But obviously, we're out for the Rangers. We're out for the Yankees in the World Series on Friday. Mm-hmm. Football tomorrow.
The matchup.
So a lot.
Amazon Prime.
Yes. So a lot to discuss. Hotel right by LAX. But
that's convenient.
Once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay, and costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.